How's that? I don't mind. No problem. Does it bother you when you hear people use these slang expressions?
What slang expressions are you referring to?
Yeah, the usual. Lesbos, lezzers, lesby friends, dykes, Paul Dykes, Dick Van Dykes, spare rib ticklers, cat flaps, pussyfooters, knickerpickers, men, backpackers, tent peggers, trout fishers, melon farmers, quick fit fitters.
That's Alan Partridge, Steve Coogan, doing one of his wonderful British TV shows called Knowing Me, Knowing You, which has been released here in the States way back when, a couple years ago. It's wonderful. He does a talk show here, which is on British television, which, as Knowing Me, Knowing You, all the damn music in it is ABBA-crap. But it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Knowing Me, Knowing, yeah, aha. But then he went on to do I'm Alan Partridge. He was a washed up. He got canned off of this, and then became a washed up DJ up in northeastern England. But yeah, wonderful. You can catch a lot of these on YouTube, and you go out and buy this. It's really wonderful. One of my favorites. Good morning, Washington, and welcome to the latest edition of Dave TV for the 1st of February. Just a week before my big birthday celebration, and the Washington radio community will go mad. Anyhow, got an interesting little clip here I want to show you. A friend sent me this a couple of years ago. Let me get the camera. Should I get the camera? Should I get everything in order? I think we got everything. There's Tom Brokaw. Remember him? Okay.
And now we go from Hong Kong to Washington, where our friends at NBC4, WRC-TV, are celebrating their golden anniversary, 50 years tonight. Now, from Hong Kong to Jim Vance in Washington to begin the celebration.
Hi, I'm Jim Vance. At this very moment, 50 years ago, if you turned your TV to Channel 4, your picture probably looked like this. Over the years, the picture has changed, and so has the programming that Channel 4 puts on your TV. Television is important in American life, and in Washington, Channel 4 has become a leading citizen in the community. Today, 50 years to the moment later, television is still changing. 500 channels, digital, satellite, there's no telling what it's going to look like 50 years from now, but Channel 4 plans to be there. So come on and join us. Let's celebrate the moment. Channel 4, 50 years old, and still working for you.
Wow, ain't that something? And we have him panned there by George Michael, who's passed away. And wow. Arch Campbell, who's at Channel 7, and Bob Ryan, who's at Channel 7. And Jim Vance looks a bit older. This was done in 1997, so I guess Channel 4 came on the air in, 47, right? That's 50 years. So that's a good, 13, 14 years ago. Wow. And that's outside the station at 4001 Nebraska Avenue Northwest. I think that's where that is, isn't it?
Happy birthday!
Now it's owned by Comcast.
Hey, happy 50th!
They have a dream that someday Cabletown would own Channel 4.
Feliz cumpleaños, Canal 4, NBC.
Happy birthday, NBC4.
Happy birthday to you.
Well, anyhow, we'll get back to that. Some more clips on that a little bit later on in one of these Dave TVs, but interesting there. Okay, so the big question today is, where's Lisa Baden going to end up? There's some rumblings that she could be soon heard on WAVA, the Christian talker at 105.1. You know, it doesn't look like she's going to be going to any of the other major radio stations in the market, at least for the immediate future. You can still see her on Channel 7, since Metro Traffic. She works for Metro Traffic, and they're not doing the traffic for WTOP anymore. And I got a lot of complaints about, the lighting, you do terrible lighting. There we go. Is that better? Take the hat off. Okay, well, anyhow. I got an interesting photo I want to show you today. And here we go. Look at this. Looky at that. See, I think there's a focusy thing on here, isn't there? Let me see if I can focus that. Focus! Close-up focus. Is that better? Ooh, that's worse. Let's try turning it this way. Okay, how's that? Ooh, that's even worse. Let's see if I focus it on my head. Up there. Okay, that should be good. Okay, there we go. There we go. Look at these guys. WINX DJs from 1967. Wow, look at that. And I believe that's Bob Duckman. Okay, right? I think that, yeah, that's Bob Duckman. Let's see, front, left to right, Bob, Pierre, Eaton, whatever. Back left to right, Bob Duckman. So Bob Duckman's in the back there. Okay, one of those guys in the back is Bob Duckman, according to this. Back left to right, front left to right, I don't know. Anyhow, oh no. I don't know. I'm trying to look at this thing. Let's see here. Classic photo. Bob Goskin, Bob Edson. I can't read the writing on this. Eaton, whatever. Anyhow, if you recognize yourself on this picture, let me know. We know Joel Denver's in there. He's the guy who runs All Access. And he's one of these guys in there. So, you can pick who it is. And Jay Beatty, the guy that... where's Jay? He ran WOHN in Herndon there for a while on 1440. One of these days we'll do a look back at WOHN, which doesn't exist anymore. It's now a AT&T cell tower. But anyhow, there's some cool people. And if you know who's who, Bob Duckman is one of those guys. So, I mean, I would just guess it's that guy, but I don't know. Whatever. One of them's Bob Duckman. So anyhow, that's that. Anyhow, I'm not going to waste a lot of your time today. Looking at the big news headlines of the day. We've got the latest radio ratings are out, and WTOP is back on top after the Christmas surge from WASH. And we've got some news. 7:30, which is the new WTNT, The Truth. Yeah, right. Is now relaying its righty talk signal on Warrenton's 1240 AM WKDL. Of course, WTNT used to be on 570. Dan Snyder, Redskins owner, Red Zebra, sold the station, sold his 730 signal, which used to be a Spanish sports talker, and he sold it to Metro Radio, which is based in Vienna. They run a bunch of AMers in the area. So now Metro Radio has got the TNT calls on 730. And they've got America's Morning News on there, which used to be the Washington Times Morning News Show. And Laura Ingram, Jerry Doyle, and Michael Savage are on the station. So you can now hear it on 1250 in Warrenton. Yeah. Okie dokie. We're also there's also a big push to get the Al Jazeera network. Let's see here. Let's see if I turn on my Teletubby and we go to the bring the camera around.
Unprecedented 5 out.
Okay, we're still watching that. We still got that WRC thing on there. Let's go to the flip it over here.
Shameful, ignominious.
Oh my goodness, one of the best movies ever made, Citizen Kane.
Forever cancelled political chances.
Wow.
Foster Kane.
No, when I'm flipping over here, this is Al Jazeera, which we get in the Washington area on channel 275 on Comcast, which is relayed via the megahertz channel, which is channel 30,
history right
It's just interesting that we can watch here. There's a good article in the New York Times today how a lot of American cable companies don't carry Al Jazeera and a lot of these international channels, and they really, whether you agree or disagree with it, you know, it's a news channel based in Qatar or Qatar or whatever they're calling it these days. But it's interesting that we get I think a point of view news-wise from a lot of different sources, and it's a good thing that cable systems will be carrying Al Jazeera. It's in English 24/7, and we're lucky in the Washington area that most of the cable systems do carry the MHZ feed via WNBT channel 30. So anyhow, one good advantage of living in the Washington area, and another good advantage is that we're not getting an ice storm today, despite all the hype. Okay, that's it. We're at the 10-minute mark. Don't want to keep these shows too long. You have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in a few days, or see you tomorrow, or whenever I feel like doing this again. And don't forget to stay tuned!